Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a component called sdEasyGrid, and we're going to render a grid or table on UI using that particular component. So without any further delay, let's get started. So last time we have rendered some card using data from JSON engine, and today we're going to render a grid using the same data. To do that, let's go to the ServerDummies.com and go to the sdEasyGrid page, and there we're going to find the install informations and how to install that package, and we're going to import that module into our project. So let's do it. So once done, let's go to the website and we're going to see the structure of that component. It takes 3 parameters. One is content, second one is config, and third one is look. And fourth one is a event emitter that emits an event every time you perform some action on a row. And if you scroll down, you're going to see the content contains 3 properties: header, data, and footer. The data is nothing but the data we're going to feed from JSON engine, which is a flat data. And header contains column names and are mapped to the data, and footer contains pagination and footer button and those properties. And now if you scroll down, you're going to see the config is nothing but the on-off switches for different features for our grid, and look is the parameter using which we're going to control the style of the grid. Now let's copy the component and let's create all the parameters by copying them from the website. Now let's go to the JSON engine and create 20 records. And we'll be fetching the same data that we were fetching for the cards. Just make the property pick and create URL and give that URL to our GET request. Save it. And now let's format it into a flat file and give that data to the grid. So there you go, guys. We got all the data in a tabular format, and we created a few blank columns as well. And you're going to add some action item there. Now let's make the global search bar property true, and let's see what happens. There you go, guys. It added a search bar to our grid, and whatever we type, it's going to filter out the content with that text. Now let's go to our config and make footer true, and let's go to our content, and we have to add a footer property here. Footer, then we need pagination and button. Just copy that from the website, and now let's provide per page, which is 10 because we are fetching 20 data, and then we'll provide total and make the footer button name as submit. And then let's go below and make pagination property true and footer button property Now give the data length to the total so that it will render in the grid. Save it. There you go, guys. Now we got a footer with pagination and submit button. And whenever you click next, it going to the next 10 pages. To see that in action, let's add a new column called ID because we have ID in data. So let's just edit ID and map it to ID field. Now save it. So now there is a ID column, and just click next. As you see now, next, whenever you click next, the record becomes 11 to 20. From previous it will be 1 to 10. So our pagination works. Now we have an event emitter. Let's capture that using a method called sourceTab. And then let's go to our console.log, go to our console, and then click the submit button. As you see, it emits an event. So now then, let's make the ID field sortable true and add another property to the name field as well. As you see now, the two fields became, or two columns became sortable, and we can sort them ascending or descending order. Now to make a field, a column searchable, we can use a property called inner search true. So add that to the name column, as well as let's add it to the state column. Maybe, yes. So once done, let's save it. There you go. We get two inner search for that particular columns. And now just type nj. It's gonna return the rows where n state equal to nj. And now let's type ny. So it's gonna return us the rows where state equal to ny. Now if you type something, just type Lena. So if you type Lena, now it returns a rows where state equals to ny and name equal to Lena. So it's a conditional search. And let's go back to our code and let's try to add some action elements inside our tab. As you see, to do that, we have a type action columns in the header property in the website. We're just gonna copy one by one and gonna test it. Let's go with the select, inner select element. Let's make the car column a action field. Okay, so give a property called type action, and then we have to provide the items and also the level. So let's just copy it, and then let's provide that to the car column. So make it Honda, then make Toyota, and make Kia. And make the name as select a car. Now let's save it and let's go to the demo app. There you go, guys. We created a select element inside the column, and whenever we change it, it emits an event, as you see on the console, and that property got added to the emitted row. For example, car. Now you can see car Honda is added to the row, to the emitted event. Same way, if you change it to any other stuffs, the property will change to that particular value. Now let's just go ahead and keep adding one by one action items from the website. Now, as you see, we have added all kind of action item available on the website. Now let's see what happens when you perform some action on this action items. If you click save, it returns that particular row with added properties. Same way, when you click a checkbox, it returns that particular row with select property true or false, and so on. Now if you go ahead and make the stripes property true and take out the call span property, we're going to notice that stripes have been added to our grid, and the grid is now horizontally scrollable. Whenever we make the call span full, it will take the full width of the grid, and whenever take out the call span, it will become horizontal scrollable. Now if you make event pagination true, our default pagination will not work, and now every time you click next or previous, it's gonna emit an event so that we can fetch data from backend to create our pages in the grid. As simple as that. So now take out the event pagination property, and we are all set. Now let's talk about look parameter. Let's copy all the class names from here and paste it on the style SCSS file, and let's create a class. The class name could be anything. Just create a class called sdStripe class, and let's give a property background color blue. Mark it important, and let's reduce the opacity. Now let's copy that class name, and now we're gonna pass it against the stripe class in look parameter. There you go, guys. We override the stripe classes and applied our own class. In this way, we can override all the classes and come up with our own design. As simple as that. So that's all about it, guys. Hope you liked it. See you in our next demo. Peace.